In the world of a very low real estate market, but a very hot housing market, and also living in a world where not only do we have a hot housing market, we also have a very lukewarm to cold real estate market. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, y'all let me know if y'all can hear this. Y'all give me a thumbs up if this sounds good. But today we're going to talk about the asset that I purchased that made me 23% over the last year, and that's just the last year. So I haven't, went back through the other years. But I think it's a forgotten asset that nobody's talking about in the world of cryptocurrency going crazy. Stock market is lukewarm, and also you got the housing market that's red hot. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, if you haven't done so already, go ahead. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit that like, comment, and share button. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you are now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And if you are catching this live, go ahead and don't be a stranger. Say hello and tell me where you're from. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, an asset class that I think everybody has forgotten about. We talked about how housing market is very hot right now. We talked about how the business world is doing pretty good. I think we're in expansion. We talked about the hot topic, the new lottery casino, which is cryptocurrency. Some may disagree with some, but that's just my opinion. And we talked about the lukewarm stock market who's been doing okay. It's bouncing around about a 10, 13% or whatever. So let me give you guys a little bit backdrop of this story. Every year, my son's birthday, I always try to purchase him an asset. One year, I put his name on a credit card, add him as an authorized user on my credit card so he can have credit. One year, I went out and did. What did I do one year? One year, I brought him some stocks. One year, I put his name on a business. One year, I purchased him some land, so on and so on. Every year, I purchased him at one of his favorite companies. He loves McDonald's and he loves Southwest Airlines. So every year, I make it around his birthday time to say, hey, let me go out and purchase something that, hey, my son will probably like and probably think good of me for doing in the future. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, in this world of investing, everybody's talking about real estate, stocks, and there's no hot stock right now. Really, there's no, stock market's kind of very volatile all over the place. And you're talking about a red hot real estate market, but the housing market, it takes a lot of money to get into the housing market. For prime example, most times, if you want to buy your primary residence, you got to have 20% down. And also, you got to have not only 20% down, you got to have 20% down. You got to find a piece of real estate that the housing market that you want to buy. You got to make a bid in order to get in. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I have pulled up in front of you was a pleasant surprise that I got into the mail. Right here, this is the actual real letter. Please don't steal my information and try to do nothing crazy. I tried to scratch out everything, but please don't try to steal my information, which would be dumb if I try to put it up here anyway. But I know how people are. So I got this letter in the mail. It's the 2021 notice of evaluation, not evaluation, but valuation. 2021 real property 2021 valuation. And as you can look on this 2020 valuation, if you can't look on it, I will read it out to you. This is just some crap land that I purchased a couple acres years ago, probably about 2-3 years ago. It was my son's birthday. As you can see, my name is Prince Wesley Dykes. My son's name is Wesley Prince Dykes. So you can see both our name on there. It's really for him as one of his birthday gifts or whatever that I think I purchased about 2 years ago for like $3,000. It was some random land in a mountain in Colorado that I kind of really forgot about. So I get a letter in the mail saying, Prince, here's your statement of valuation. Evaluation, this is how you pay your property tax. So they tell me the previous year in 2020 that this property was valued at $3,650. And nothing crazy, nothing to write home about. Then they say, hey, well, today, this current year value, we're valuing your property at $4,500, right? and we're evaluating it at $850 more than it was last year. It went from $3,650 to $405,000. This is a vacant piece of property out in Colorado, ladies and gentlemen, that I've never even seen. I purchased it for my son. I purchased it offline. I got the deed. I paid a property tax to it, and I kind of forgot about it. It was more of a lesson to my son of acquiring real estate, acquiring property, right? Very cheap. And also, I purchased some other pieces of land for myself, but I look at land as a savings account. When we're in a world of inflation, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to talk like on rambling all over the place. When we're in the world of inflation, as the price of goods and services goes up, we know that this will affect real estate in a positive way. My only concern with the housing market, I think that real estate is making some houses unaffordable. But I think land is very affordable. You can buy land for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15, whatever you want to buy, right? I look at purchasing land as a savings account. That's all it is, just a savings account. Because when you look at the value of a savings account, and we're pumping out trillions of dollars in stimulus packages, we're just pumping out more and more money. And as we pump out more and more money, that decreases the value of the dollar. The value of the dollar is decreasing. Also, you have the dollar sitting in the savings account. What is the savings account? What have we been doing to stimulate the economy? We've been lowering interest rates. Interest rates are at an all-time low. So we have very low interest rates with a weakening dollar that's pushing up inflation, the cost of goods and services, right? So I thought, hey, I'll just buy a couple pieces of land. That'll be a great place to kind of hide some money to kind of defeat inflation. And voila, to my surprise, I look at this evaluation. I keep saying evaluation. I look at this valuation that I get in 2021, even though it's not the most accurate, I know. So I don't want people to come here saying, well, Prince, the valuation by the city is blah, 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 whatever. I'm just saying this valuation is telling me, hey, your property is here. It is, made $800 on it last year. And I'm like, wow, that's a nice little 23% return on investment just in value on land, vacant land. Nothing is on this land. You have vacant land all over Colorado, all over Wyoming, all over Nebraska, all over Alabama, all over Georgia, all over South Carolina, all over Texas, all over Louisiana, all over Arkansas, that nobody is paying attention to. Nobody is talking about, even though we know this asset has multiple uses, right? I can sell it, or I can go live on it if I really wanted to, right? I can sell it, or I can go live on it, or I can grow on it. So the economy goes down out of all of the assets that I have, besides my primary residence and the land that I own, my other assets is just going to be down. So when I look at land, you can do so much with land. This is a vacant piece of land. Land is on sale all over the country and all over the world right now, ladies and gentlemen. And it is not asset, but it's an inflation protection. It's a way to invest against inflation, right? So when you look at the value of just vacant land all in Arizona, all over these deserted places, you can get land for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And it has multiple uses. Yes, I have some index funds that did great last year. I had some stocks that did well for me last year. But right now, my tech stocks are down. What can I do with my down tech stocks? I can't do anything. But if my value was down, if my portfolio, my land was down, guess what? I can go live on that land. I can grow cotton on that land. I can eat on that land. I can drive my RV on that land too. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys and girls to think about land, vacant land that can be purchased online. There are tons of vacant land that nobody wants all over the country, especially if you live in the South. Here in Colorado, and once you get outside of Denver, there's land all over the place that's vacant. It's like a savings account. You just buy a piece of vacant land for $1,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. So what I did in my particular situation, instead of buying the land cash, I went and borrowed money from the bank. I said, hey, bank, let me get $3,000. They gave me $3,000. I had the $3,000, but I borrowed the $3,000. I brought the land cash. And then within 6 or 7 months, I paid the bank back. So not only did I acquire an asset, I also built my credit in in the long run as well. I built my credit of saying, hey, look, I gave this, I borrowed this money and gave it back. And also I acquired a piece of land, and the land has been going up in value. I think I probably paid $2,000 to $3,000 for this piece of land. And now it's worth, they're saying what, $4,500? That's 23% that it gained last year alone in value off of this little vacant piece of land. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys and girls, as everybody's running the cryptos and people don't know what to do with stocks because stocks are lukewarm. People don't know what to do with a business because it's too hard to start a business or may cost too much money. Look into vacant land all over the country. Great way to hedge against inflation. Let me see what y'all say in the comment box while I roll out of here. Jawan said, what, weed? No, no, it was not weed. It was not weed. It was vacant land all over the country. Antonio, what's going on? Go ahead, Antonio. Arthur Butler, what's going on? He says, Prince Dykes, what's going on, Arthur Butler? Nice to see you, my brother. Alan Williams said, good evening, brother. This is my guy, Al. What's going on, Al? Arthur Butler says again, greetings from St. Augustine. Okay, St. Augustine is in the building. But ladies and gentlemen, that's something I want to drop off. I got a pleasant surprise in the mail. And the piece of mail was just telling me, my valuation of a piece of crap land, vacant land that I purchased. I own some land out in Arizona. I own some land in here in Colorado that just crap land that nobody wants that I just purchased and say, hey, you know what? Nobody's making any more of it. It's pretty cheap right now. And I think this is a great way to hedge against inflation. And if all heck breaks loose, at least I can go live on it. But this is what I want you guys and girls to see. Hello, how you doing there, Miss Freeman? How you doing, Miss Freeman? How you doing? Max B, you are correct. Nobody's thinking about the vacant land. And I keep getting this letter in the mail. Hey, this land value is just going up, going up, going up. We know what land is. We know what type of asset that is. I own some Dogecoin. I don't know what that is. I own some of this Stellar Bitcoin. I really don't know who owns it, but I know what land is. And you guys and girls are driving by every single day. You're going in the supermarket, eating food from land every single day. Think about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to tune in tomorrow. We're going to be coming live from Wall Street with the Einstein of Wall Street, the most photographer trader, popular trader on the New York Stock Exchange, Mr. Peter Tuchman. How you say it? He's going to be here live, coming from live from New York Stock Exchange. So y'all stay tuned for that. And let me see what y'all saying before I roll out of here. I think that's Dante0666 says, what's the difference between REITs and buying land or real estate? REITs or real estate investment trust. They're when you buy a piece of, it's like a bunch of money is piled together. And with that bunch of money, they go out and buy a shopping center. And now when people pay their rent, you get a piece of the shopping center. My critique of the REITs is I don't like when REITs they're too close to the stock market. When the stock market go down, so does REITs go down. I don't really like that. I like it separate, right? So you look at me, for example, I like raw land because I own it. I have the deed to it. I can use it as collateral. I can live on it. I can eat on it. I can't do that with the REITs because I'm in an investment fund. All right. Here we go. We got P Smooth says, I'm in Vegas. I feel like all the developers are buying up the land to build housing to keep up with the demand of people moving here. But I got to look into this in other cities. P Smooth, dude, you live in Vegas. You live in the middle of a desert. If you ever driven to Vegas, everybody knows Vegas is in the middle of the desert. You don't have to worry about land. Yes, the land around Vegas and around the city, that's going to be expensive. Go maybe 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours out in the middle of the desert of Vegas and get some land there. Get a little lot. You don't have to get the city. Just get a little piece in the middle of nowhere. You never know. One day they might build a Walmart there. Vegas might expand out there. You don't know. So you're right there in Vegas, where outside of Reno and outside of Las Vegas, it's just desert out there. Somebody out there, if you go online right now, land for sale in Nevada, you're going to find land all over the place. And you don't have to get the piece, just all that land that you see when people just drive by out in the desert, middle of nowhere. Somebody might give it to you for $1,000, $2,000. All right. Trucker says, good stuff, Prince. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. P Smooth said REITs are good for dividends. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But the thing about it is when the stock market, when we had that pandemic hit, guess what they did? They cut those dividends. So I don't like that. I wasn't too crazy about that. He said, what's the insurance like for land? You don't have to really have insurance. It's your land. I mean, what's going to happen? I don't know, like a sinkhole come in and take it or earthquake. I don't think nobody's going to steal your land unless you, especially if it's vacant. We're talking about just vacant land. You know, that land that you just see when you're driving to work just out in the middle of the field? Buy some field land. Why do I need insurance for that? Robert said, I like the way you think. Very smart. No problem, Rob. I'm not a smart guy, man. I'm just saying some common sense stuff and I'm just sharing it with you guys and girls. I wasn't even smart enough to get it. I just got it as a joke. Max B said, I need an expense ratio for land. An expense ratio for land. No, just go out there wherever your city is. If you live in New York City, go to upstate New York. Don't have to get land in Brooklyn and all that. You know, everybody know New York City is expensive. Go to upstate New York, out there and by Rochester somewhere. You know, look at land way out there in the middle of Nevada, Arizona, desert land with all the cactuses growing on it that somebody just willing to give away. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's something to think about. Vacant land that's around the country. America is for sale, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, until the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy y'all see me do around the globe. Peace, be safe. I'm out. Thank you.